Okay.
So I feel like it could be a little tightened up.
Okay.
With her like attention.
Okay.
In the parks, if I have her on the really long leash. I did take her to the dog park one day. I think it's Monday, and she was still like guarding the door, or
Oh, sure. Okay.
And I was like, calling her over to me, and
Sure.
I don't know if it was a matter of her not knowing where I was, because there were a lot of people there.
Sure.
But she didn't. I don't know if I could really say that, because she didn't even try to look for me right away.
Sure.
It took her a couple of times.
And she was at the gate barking or whatever. She
usually doesn't bark, but she just is really rude to other dogs coming in.
Okay.
She'll just be right in their face.
Sure.
And she's the only dog doing that.
Sure. I like her little bandana.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Festive.
That's funny.
So, and then she was a little too much to a dog there. That was
okay.
I don't know. I'm you can't do that.
Sure. Sure. So was she just really pestering the dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
And running it over, running
okay.
so fast.
Sure. Okay, so it sounds like she was really over
stimulated.
Yeah. So then that is not so much obedience, that's just behavior and taping her down. Or tapering her down. Okay. So going to the gate where she's rude with dogs coming in. What was your number?
35.
35? Okay. And then what and you were tapping. And then what was her response?
She really didn't even respond. The first 2 times I did, and I was and then she did move away and acted like she was going to look for me.
What was the number when she moved away?
40.
Oh, okay. So I probably would have been 55, 60.
Okay.
Okay. So in that scenario, there's 2 approaches. Okay. There's the I call Pepper. But you're gonna struggle with her guarding the gate.
Yeah.
Because we have behavior and we have obedience. If you call her from it, you're calling her to remove her from the gate so she doesn't harass dogs coming in, correct? But you're not teaching her to not do that. So you'll always have to call her. Okay? What I would do instead is you go to the dog park. Anytime she goes near the gates, regardless if there's a dog or not, and it's not with you, I'd already be 55, 60. Give a couple of taps, and you should see her move away from the gate.
So it's like a zone, get away from the gate.
Yeah, it's don't worry about the gate. No, you're just saying.
She doesn't have to come to me.
Exactly.
But she has to move away.
Correct. So, let's say barking out the window. A lot of people say, Jesse, my dog barks out the window. I call my dog, they come back, but then they go right back to barking out the window.
Yeah.
And I go, right, because your dog did what you said. You said come. But nothing said don't bark out the window.
Right.
So here we would just remote for barking out the window to teach the dog don't do that. Okay?
Yeah.
So same concept here. I don't care what she does. Just don't guard the gate.
Right.
Go stay over there, you can go over and over there.
So
But you can't guard that gate, you can't guard that gate. Right? I don't care if you come to me, you can't guard the gate.
Yeah.
Okay? So there's no instruction there.
How close it's wiggly.
Yeah, no wiggly. Yep.
Yeah. Because that is a really good point, because there's dogs that are coming in and out of there, if it's a busy time, all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
So, any interest, even if she looks at the gate, you can tap. Because now you're saying you can't even think about it.
Yeah.
Okay? And 40 kind of pulled her away from it, because you said kinda. I'm going, yeah, probably 55, 60.
Yeah.
And you might get a yip, and if you get a yip, then you can go down to 50 or whatever. But then what you may see is maybe she yips and she stops guarding the gate, but then she goes back after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So the yip didn't really mean anything. It was just in the moment she could have been frustrated because she didn't want to give it up. She was caught off guard. Yipping doesn't always mean discomfort, physical discomfort. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, what dictates what the appropriate number is? Do I see the behavior happen again? Right. So if you tap her once on 60, and for the next 30 minutes in the dog park she leaves it alone. That was your answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because do you agree though? She shouldn't do that. That's not a nice.
Right. Well, if she does it to the wrong dog coming in, that can be a problem.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. And she's done that to the wrong dog. For
Yes.
sure.
So it's not just, for the person coming in, but for her as well. Like, you don't know who's coming through.
You wouldn't allow your dog to do that.
No.
Yeah.
And I have the number, like if I need to be 127, it's 127. Or yours is 100.
Yeah.
But like, it's whatever's going to stop the behavior and ideally prevent it from happening again. Okay?
Right.
When it comes to her behavior with the dog, so she was like running around and like just plowing through the dog. Well, what else?
A little nippy.
Okay, and were you tapping for that?
Yeah.
What'd you tap for that?
Probably like 50.
Okay, so she got a 50 hit, okay?
Yeah.
And then what happened after that?
She went away, but then the dog was also liking her to play too, I could tell, but she obviously wasn't feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a combination that dog kept going, spotty chaser, and then she chased it eventually. And then I'm like, I did feel like she was overstimulated, so I felt like she was telling us maybe.
Okay.
Because,
sure. So you did the 50 hit, and was there any others after that?
Yeah, one at a time. Yeah.
One other time?
Yeah.
For what?
Doing it again.
Doing it to the same dog?
Yeah.
And that was the dog that was engaging with her?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just didn't like how rough she was playing?
Yeah, I could tell it was a little too much.
Sure. So then, if 50 backed her off for a bit, but she went back to that level, then 60, and then if she goes back to level, then 70.
Yeah.
I'm just each time going up, because once you hit the right number, you're going to see her just settle, and she's still going to want to, well actually, she may not want to play for a little bit, because she got the harsh correction.
Yeah.
And I just do a singular hit to see how is this going to affect your energy?
Right.
Okay, and if she calms down, and you're like, oh, this is acceptable, 70.
Yeah.
And then maybe 20 minutes goes by and she gets escalated again, and you just tap her once on 70, and then she settles down, she keeps playing, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay? As you repeat that, she should learn to self-regulate and think okay, I can't go to 6, I have to keep it at 5 or below, otherwise mom will correct me.
Yeah.
Okay? From what I've seen at my place, I think her energy's like a 3 to a 4.
Yeah.
She's actually pretty chill. And you're like, not at the dog park.
At the dog park.
Yeah.
I think it's also taking her there more, and because for a while, after she was not nice to a dog or a couple dogs, I was just didn't want to take her. So I'm I don't want her to have a dog bite here.
Sure,
so then I started taking her more again, and now I've been back at because it's like a 5-minute walk for me. I purposely kind of moved close to it so we could go there all the time.
Nice, yeah.
So maybe that keep going.
Yes. So, it's easy because you're not a dog trainer, right?
Yeah.
We get stuff that happens, and I just work through it and just keep repeating. It's part of the process. Unless if you went and every single time you went, it was just she almost started a dog fight. That's a bit different, right? Because it's each time it's just not working out well.
Yeah.
But with this, and as long as what holds people back the most is the fact that they're not comfortable with going higher. Okay, and I go higher in the road as soon as I need to. So I think with those two things in play, it should make everything else much easier.
Yeah.
Okay, I always tell everybody, remote should never be an argument. It should always be pretty straightforward. If it feels like an argument, which is you're tapping too much, I have my 3-tap rule. I don't know if I told you about that. If we don't get a change by the first tap or by the third tap, I bump it.
Okay.
Okay, so it's tap, 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 no response, bump it.
Yeah.
Keep doing that. And then for her, it jumps to 5-ish. If you jump 8 levels, she's not gonna die.
Yeah.
And then once you get a feel for it, and you'll start to learn oh yeah, at the gate she needs to be at 60 or whatever. I would already be at 60, assuming she's gonna run to the gate, right?
Yeah.
And then if I tap her for something else at 60, it is what it is, and if anything, it's just gonna slow her down more.
Yeah.
Okay. When you go to the dog park, how is she going in?
I make her. It's a double gate, and I make her sit and sit again before she can go. And then I break.
Okay. How is her energy approach? Is she really ready?
So pumped.
Okay. What can also help is, I know Wiggly's a little bit weird because it's that's square, but for instance, there's a dog park in the South Loop where it's a path around it.
Yeah.
So I've had clients with similar issues where they walk their dog a couple of laps around first, just to get that initial stimulation out, and then they'll go in. Okay? So like, I think around Wiggly, you can do at least 3/4 of the way around.
I've seen people do that.
Yeah, and you just do that just to get that initial just like stimulation out, and then you would go in, and then you would do what you've been doing with like the sits and stuff, and then see if that brings her in more settled. Because if you bring her in already stimulated, and then you just add in the dogs, there's more stimulation, and then the dogs coming to the gate is more stimulation. So it's just stacking.
Yeah.
So this will help take off the initial just burst of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I just need to keep working with her like at home with my cat that she's like obsessed with making sure he's like not near me or anyone else.
Okay.
So I think it's just me needing to keep having the collar on and just the remote next to me so that like she knows she can't keep.
So he tries to okay. When you've corrected her for it, right?
Yeah.
At what number?
In the house she's like it's lower, so maybe like 40. Like,
okay, yeah, I would do 80, 90.
Yeah, so she just gets it. Like,
Yeah. So, and then what you can, have I talked to you about the bunker? So the other thing, because you're not always going to have the remote on you, right? It's just a rolled up towel, and you can use hair bands or rubber bands to keep it shape, and you can make a couple of them, and you literally use it to bunk the dog. Okay? So I have 3 videos that I sent people, how to make one, how to use one, and a trainer actively using a bunker, and he uses it with considerable force. Okay? Because so with the e-collar, what's nice about the e-collar is it allows you to correct your dog. You can also correct your dog harshly, and it's just press the button. There's a disconnect, right? So that's why it's usually easier to do that. But with the bonker, because the correction's coming from you, people tend to think like, oh my god, I'm hitting my dog. I'm like, well, if the cat, I'm not sure your cat's personality type, like in other households, like cats will like tear up the dog. You know?
Well, my cat's a total instigator.
Sure.
And she's actually kind of like, she's kind of afraid of animals, but he doesn't have front claws.
Sure.
So, like,
so you can, yeah.
But she knows she can never bite him. She's never like, but she'll like fake like,
Sure.
But I mean, my cat's pretty tough. So I'm never worried that she's gonna hurt him.
Sure.
But it's just obnoxious of like chasing the cat around.
Constant. Yeah.
Like, and the whining, like.
So sure. So if you don't have the collar on, you can correct her with the bunker. You'd watch the videos, and they have to be firm, harsh corrections.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, we're done with this. Like we're not playing with this anymore.
Knock it off.
And I mean, you could even cap it, and I would even 100 for the whining.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't want any thought process of you and the cat.
Yeah.
Okay, unless it's peaceful, I don't want you even thinking about like chasing the cat or whining about chasing the cat. It's going to be 100.
Yeah.
And then that's gonna speed up the process. Okay. So I give the dog time. Like so obedience behavior is different because obedience, we're teaching the dog to do something that's unnatural.
Yeah.
They're not meant to sit, stay down, come place heel. That's human stuff created to control dogs, right? But if she did something to another cat, for example, like that cat would turn around and just beat her up.
Right.
If it had the confidence to, and then she'll learn her lesson. Like, I can't harass this cat.
Yeah.
But if it's another cat, if they don't have the confidence or the ability to, then she's going to learn, like, this cat I can't mess with because it'll beat me up. But this cat I can because you can't do anything about it. Okay, so that's how their brains work.
Yeah.
So, I would just do, for behavior, the reason why you can do harsh corrections is because it's just, don't do that.
Don't.
You're not teaching her to do something, you're teaching her to not do something.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so like, let's say for the red light, like running a red light, I think is like $100 ticket.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say they made it a $1,000 ticket. I'm sure running red lights would be much less frequent,
right?
Because people don't want to pay $1,000 for just running a stupid red light, right? So, but the reason that is because the consequence and financial consequence applies to humans, not the dogs, is that, right? So, but for her, it's just all about physicality. So then I would, at the gate thing, what did I say, 65 or something, right? See how it works, and you'll know, like, within that if you're there for 20 minutes, you're like, wow, I tapped her once at 65, the rest was easy peasy. Now you have your number, and then each time you go, if you notice, like, she's doing it less and less, and I tap her every once in a while, it's really making progress. Same thing with her behavior with other dogs.
Yeah.
With the cat, because she has to learn to coexist with the cat at some point. You're probably going to do a mixture.
It's been years.
Oh, it's been years?
Oh yeah, this is not a new cat. Cat was there first.
I would really do harsher corrections.
Yeah, that's very important.
Okay. And she's not going to hate you. She's not going to hate the cat or anything like that. Like it's just don't mess with the cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Other questions?
No.
Alrighty. So, what were you struggling with the long stuff?
I think just like we had talked about last time about being able to let her go control the people dog.
Oh, sure.
And then being able to like bring her back again.
Sure.
I just feel like I don't know if I can completely trust her in like the environment.
Okay.
Because like she has hesitated to like come.
Sure.
But yeah, that's
Is she on the long leash?
she's only been on. I've never like just let her off. I've only had her on.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, if she's on the long leash and the long leash is in your hand, correct?
Yeah.
Or are you practicing on the lakefront or?
Lakefront. I did it a couple times, and then I live next to John Cole Park, so I do that.
Okay.
there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're real close to the field. Is with the long leash. I'm trying to figure out like what would be the concern for you with Pepper in that kind of context.
It's not so much a long leash, I guess. It's if I like were to let her off leash.
Oh sure. Yeah.
Like if I there's dogs in John Cole Park which are so lovely and they can be off leash and play together. And I like am weary of trying to let her be a part of that.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's
Okay. So with training, there's two. There's Pepper and then there's you. Pepper has all the skills, right? And you're not the first owner, not the last owner, but it's that whole trust factor of like, right? Whereas for me, because I work with dogs on a regular basis, it's like, sure, just do it.
yeah.
Is don't feel rushed to get her off the leash. Okay? You keep like I talked about my client, right? That she told me she never let her dog off the leash. Her dogs.
And now she does all,
Yeah. But that was like a year. I saw her a year after her program.
Yeah.
Right? So it took her. I'm not sure if it took her a whole year, but it took her much longer than the 9 weeks that she had with me to get to that point of comfort, right? So it's the same thing for you and Pepper. And the other thing is like, you're thinking about like her behavior at the home, and then like let's say these couple instances at Wiggly, right? Because she didn't respond.
Yeah.
But in those instances, or all of them actually, I'm just thinking too low.
Yeah.
On the collar, right? So then I feel like if you start to get successes in those contexts, where you're like, oh wow, like she's much easier now, like she's not so driven anymore, and it was 65 to get her to cut all that out. Then it starts to make you more confident in other areas, okay? But I encourage everybody to take the time to build your confidence, because if an emergency happens, so like I have a client right now, they just wrapped up their 10th class, but they've been walking their dog off leash like I think since class 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So they've been doing it, right?
Right.
Now I didn't tell them to, but the guy was so confident. He's like, oh yeah, man. He's like, this thing is great. He's like, I'm not afraid of the dog running away. He's like, 'cause I got this. So what that tells me is, if his dog did run away for whatever reason, his first instinct would be jump to the remote. Whereas people who aren't really confident will chase after their dog. And I've had clients do that. And I'll ask them like, why don't you just use the remote? They're like, I panicked, like I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but people that are fully confident in the remote will jump to that first.
Yeah.
Okay? So that takes more time, that takes practice, for like getting her behavior in check at the dog park, and then seeing consistency.
Yeah.
And if you're seeing inconsistency, it tells me number.
Right.
Okay, it's almost always the problem area with transferring things to owners is the number.
Yeah.
Or they're not remoting enough. Okay.
And then the other thing, now I think about it, when we were last, you were like, okay, on your next classes, you have to teach emergency down.
Yeah.
And so we haven't gone through that yet.
Yeah. Right.
So curious how
Sure. So I'm going to go through that process with you. So I know we did heel, we did place, we did the long leash recall, we did sit in the downs already, right? And we covered stay, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we covered all those commands, and then it's really just the emergency downs, and then reviewing everything, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna save this for the end. We're gonna start with the emergency down stuff first.
Okay.
Okay, so we have to transfer that to you, of course. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna show you how to start it so she can start, because she's not gonna expect you to do that with her.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. This is a bit of coordination. Okay? So you're gonna have Pepper in a heel.
Okay.
What number are you at currently?
32.
32, okay. You have Pepper in a heel. You have the leash in your left hand, okay? And you're gonna say down. And when you say down as you're walking, you're gonna time it so that your right leg comes out like this, and you're gonna be facing Pepper. Okay?
And then, do I do this then?
Yes.
As I'm sitting down?
Yes. So you're gonna,
But walk, just walk.
but walking, and don't worry about walking fast. So it's gonna be heel, you're moving, and then when you're ready, you're gonna time it, down, tapping, and you're gonna use your leash to put the brakes on Pepper. Okay? Because she's not gonna expect this from you. So, you do the down, pivot out, you tap, you pull back, and if you can, you're gonna keep moving as long as you see Pepper going into that down position. Okay?
And if I don't,
I'll coach you through the rest. Okay? Otherwise, it's gonna be a ton of information. And you're at 32, right? Go ahead and give a tap here. Tap. Okay, cool. She feels it. All right. When you're ready, and shorten your leash a little bit, about halfway. That's good. Tap. Let's go down to 18. Tap. Tap. Good. Have you used the down at all? Have you used the down?
yeah.
How often?
At least one today.
Today? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna. She was. She's yeah. I'm going down a little bit. Down. Yep. 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 There we go. So what I'm gonna have you do is start using the downs more regularly.
Okay.
Down. Yep. 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 So with obedience, down. If you don't use it, you lose it. Yep. 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 All this is on me right now. So, not sure. Down.
Pepper down.
4. Yep. Down. Yep. Down. Yep. 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 Good. Yep. Yep. Down. Yep. 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 commands at all?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Down. Yep. Down. Good. Yep. Down. Yep.
Just calm down a little.
Yeah. Well, because that's a prong correction. Down. Yep. Down. Yep. Down. Yep. Which commands do you run her through? Down.
Sit down, place, stay.
Yep.
Those are the main ones.
Okay. Down. How often do you work with her?
Oh, we do that every day.
Do you ever apply the down? I know you said the one time.
Yeah, we do down. I feel like down is the she's most hesitant about. Like, I go out on a walk and we're doing, you know, I tell her down. She starts to, she does get hesitant, but she does eventually go. She does go.
Okay. Yep. What's the preference like for the down?
Well, that's a great question because she always will go on carpet. It's immediate, but like if it's cement or something, she's like, that's where she's.
Yep. Down. A couple more. Yep. Down. Yep. So if she gets resistant, pushing through it, yep, is super important. Because people tend to lay off. Down. When the dog starts to like resist.
Yeah.
And then if that happens, you're not going to get anywhere. Heel. With that resistance, what's not allowing down her to where she was barking at 30. I'm at 35 and she's not doing it. Heel. Down. If the brain is stuck on resisting, it won't accept any information. So all that was resistance. Yep. Down. Good. And she's been good at the facility, but this is where it's practicing the environment. Yep. It's good. Down. One more with him. I'm gonna tap up. Yep.
And you're still tapping on every single down, right?
Down. Good. There we go. I'm at 35. Okay.
You put it higher up.
Well, once I did the prong really helped her because it was a physical direction.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm gonna have you do here is we're gonna do a couple because I'm gonna walk you through the process real quick. And then what I would really focus on the down.
Okay.
If you're noticing like she's hesitant in some areas.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what if she's running on like you said cement, and then you need her to down.
Yeah.
And then she's hesitant on down, right?
Yeah.
So working on which is weird because she downs all the time on cement at the facility.
Right.
But you know, it also is just environment.
Outside. Inside, she's usually great.
Yeah. Okay. So here, I'll go to put her in the heel. And you're gonna walk, and I'm gonna have you go back into what I had told you, right? You're gonna say heel, you're walking with pepper, and when you're ready, down, and then just curve out. There you go. Yep, now walk around her. Good. Heel. And when you're ready, down.
Down.
There you go. And you're gonna keep walking, walk around her. Good. 3 more times. Heel.
Heel.
Yep, and walk. There you go. There you go. Good. Couple more. Heel.
Down.
Yep, keep moving. There you go. And we're going to dip that number down. Let's go down to 22 now.
Okay.
Heel. Last one. There you go. Good. Now, going to come into a heel. Going to walk towards me. Yep. Tap. Good. And you're going to come to a stop here. Good. Going to Q down. Down.
Oh, Q.
Q down.
I was like, Q down. Down.
There you go. Good. You're at 22 now, right? Or something like.
I accidentally turned it down because I was. It's at 22 now.
It's at 22. Okay, cool. All right. So what we're gonna do here is same process, but instead of pivoting in front of her, you're gonna say it as you're just walking. Okay. Now, as you say it as you're walking down, you're gonna use this hand to kind of just hold her back so you can keep moving forward, because she's probably gonna think to walk towards your left leg.
Okay. And I loosen the leash then?
No, you're going to keep it like you had it before, because you may need it to help stop her when you're walking. Because right now she's going to think heel most likely. So when you cue the down, you're going to use your hand and the tap to help her put the brakes, and then she should lay down. Okay?
Should I do it this way?
Yeah.
Okay. Heel.
There you go. Good. And now walk around. There you go. Yeah, so once you hit the end of your leash, you'll just keep your movement, circle around and back in position. Good. And heel.
Down.
There you go. And then keep your movement. Yep, walk around.
Touching that. Okay.
What's that?
Got that.
Good. We're going to do 3 more.
Heel.
Good. We're going to do 2 more.
Heel. She was anticipating.
Yeah. Because we've drilled them a bunch right now. Good. We're going to try 1 more.
Down.
Very good. So what we're doing here is just getting you used to the motion. Okay?
Yeah.
So the way we shape this is we start with the walking. We do the pivot in front. So you remember with the stay, how
It's
we said
like a
stay,
stay, yeah.
right? is the reason why we do that pivot around is to put pressure on her, to help her put the brakes on. Okay, because if you keep walking straight, she's gonna in the beginning think heel.
Yeah.
So we do the turn to help her go like, oh, I'm supposed to do something, and then we get the down. Once we get that down, then we go to the next step, which is now you're downing her and you're moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna put her on the long leash. We're gonna give her a bit of space, and we're gonna down her at a distance. Okay.
Yeah.
So, as part of your practice or your like the repertoire or whatever, is you're trying to make it as random as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing I have my clients do is now that you know how to do this, is you walk with Pepper. Let's say she's in a heel. You walk for 20 minutes, and then during that walk, just randomly come down.
Yeah.
Okay. But in the beginning, you're gonna do the pivot. She's not gonna anticipate that when she's walking with mom. After 20 minutes, I'm gonna get down.
Right.
It's gonna be completely random. So we do that
So
pivot.
we have to pivot. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now once you've done that, maybe a week or so, a couple of weeks, whatever, and you're like, oh wow, she's like doing really good. Then as you're walking, just randomly, 30 minutes in, down. But then you would keep your forward movement. See if she pops. Okay. So you have to practice on somewhat of a regular basis. Not on don't do 5 every walk, because then she's gonna start just downing out of nowhere. But just throw one in at least once a day sporadically.
Yeah.
Okay. To keep it in play.
Yeah.
Because you want to think in the sense of if she's taking after something and you need that down to be effective, if you've not used it for 6 months.
Yeah. She's got it.
Exactly. So that's why application of training is the most effective form of dog training. So going to a restaurant patio and having your lady be in a down position, friends coming over, they're having a place or whatever for 3 hours, doing the recall and she's at the park. But you're actively using your training, and that's what keeps it effective. Okay. Unfortunately, because we do live in Chicago, a lot of my clients in the wintertime don't use a lot of their obedience because it's cold, right? So maybe they use the recall. Yeah, they do the walk and they do the recall, but the sit, stay, down, play stuff, they usually don't really touch on.
Okay.
And then come springtime, they're like, oh, Jesse, the dog's not doing so well. I'm like, well, you have to revisit those things because the dog's not. Like me, if you ask me to do algebra from high school, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't remember that stuff, right? So same thing for Pepper here. So that down. And you might find once the winter comes and the snow hits, you're going to have a problem because now it's snow. Okay, so then that's something new to work with, but that's what's going to build the reliability of your training. Okay, so we're going to swap her over to a long leash here. All right, so we're gonna take a tangent real quick, just to get our mind off of things, and I'm gonna have you practice, just your long leash stuff, and just show me what you remember and how you practiced it. Okay?
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. That was not perfect. She usually does better.
Good. Go ahead and try your long leash heel.
Heel.
Yeah, keep moving and tap. Tap. There you go. Good.
The anticipation.
Good. Try a left turn. You got it. Good. 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 Going to slow down to a stop. Good. Stay.
Stay.
Good. Tap. Start to tap. Walk her back. Tap. 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 General area. That's good right there. Now step out with your right leg. There you go. And yep, now you can move. Go ahead and walk around her. You're going to come to her side and go ahead and cue the word cue down. Now step away again. Good. You're going to walk around.
We do this a lot. This stuff.
So, okay. Now, do you do the common calls from stays? Or like sitting down?
Yeah.
Do you find that she will like ever like prematurely run you sometimes?
She usually doesn't. I guess maybe like walk like once a week, like of the day, you know?
Okay. What I would be mindful of is because if you do a stay and then you call Pepper, is it'll create the habit where she's going to assume that you're going to call her.
Yeah.
So then she'll preemptively start running towards you. Okay. So I'm not a big fan of practicing come from stay, just because it's not realistic for one, but then two, it creates that problem.
Yeah.
Now, if that's all you have, that's fine. Just when you do the recalls, randomize when you're going to call her.
Okay.
Right? So if she's like in the downstay and I walk away, most people do this and then they call their dog every single time. They'll always call their dog on the first time they walk out. So the dog learns as soon as you turn around. Yeah. So what I do is if the owner doesn't have, the only way they can practice is with the stay, then she's in a position, you walk, you turn, then I walk over here, then I over here.
I usually do that.
You randomize it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then when you're gonna call her, make sure you pause for a moment. Okay, don't just like turn, have her come, because then she's gonna be really like anticipating. So then I'll wait a moment, Pepper come, and then do the command, but I add a delay after that walk around.
Yeah.
Okay? And that'll help prevent any preemptive breaking or preemptive like recall.
Yeah.
Okay? We're gonna go and do more of the heel stuff. I'm going to give the full slack of the leash, keeping it in your right over your right thumb and behind you to make a nice big U. Okay? So go ahead and let all your leash go slack, and you're going to grab the handle of the leash. And you're going to drape it over your right thumb. Your right thumb. There you go. Yeah, you do your right, and like that, that's fine. And then let that go slack, and then just relax. And so this way, the reason why we do the right thumb is because if you have it in your left, you're going to have the leash and the leash coming from Pepper all in the middle, and it gets the dog tangled up.
Okay.
When you do it in your right, it makes a big U that comes around you, so there's only going to be one line. So it makes it more clutter-free for the dog.
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of times they'll struggle in the beginning because they're like stepping over two leashes, they'll get tangled up. Okay, so over the right thumb works really well. So over the right thumb, big U behind you, and then we're giving the full slack here. Okay? So what we're gonna do here is go ahead and put Pepper in a heel once you're ready.
That's okay, another Pepper.
Go ahead and put her in a heel
Heel?
and start walking, and let that left hand go. There you go. And step on your leash. Tap forward, there she goes. Good. Keep forward, you got it. Going in left turn, good. And left turn again, good. And then you're going to give a down when you're ready. To keep your movement. There you go. You're going to keep walking. It's okay if there's tension. It's a good distraction. Then you're going to start to walk around. Now step towards her. Tap. 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 Walk her back to general area. Tap. 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 Do a leash pop down. There you go. Now step away.
This is my fault.
It's okay.
Okay.
Just correct her once you're done. Good. And you're going to try walk around. Good. And back to her side when you're ready. Good. Pop her back in that heel. And forward. When you're ready, you'll cue another down. Yep. Good. Good. Back to her side. Good. And heel. We're going to try one more. There you go. Good. Heel. What you're going to do on this one is you're going to walk briskly and down her. Okay? Go ahead. What's your number? 22? 22. Let's go down to 14. That's really consistent. Go ahead and tap here. Tap.
Down.
Did you down her?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and put her in the heel. And then bring her over here. Take a look at her collar. Because sometimes she's yipping at 8, sometimes she's yipping at 35.
Yeah. Break.
She on standard ropes? Yes, she is. You have it fitted really well, so it's not the tightness or anything like that. You're at what now? 14? 14. Go ahead and go to tap room. Yeah. Good. Go back to 22 before. Press 22. Yep. Okay. Yep. Go to 30. Yep. Yep. You know what you can, there's special probes meant to get through thicker hair or fur.
I think they might have the thicker ones on it.
No, these feel like the standard ones. Yeah, these are standard. They send 2 sets, I think.
Yeah.
But the one that, for the thicker coated breeds, have like a tiny little nipple on them that helps kind of get the, yeah. They're a little bit longer. I think they're 3/4 inch.
Yeah.
To see if that gets you more consistency. Because it wasn't terrible. Like we did get a good chunk of consistency, but then 8 was too high, and then 35 was fine, and then 35 is too much, and then it's 22.
Right.
So okay, let's see what we can get with you're at what now? 35?
30.
So go ahead and tap a couple more times. Go ahead and bump it. Let's go to 40.
I think my dog is broken.
Tap. 50. Tap. 60.
This seems weird. Can I try to see if it's...
Sure. There it is.
Okay.
What's that number now?
42.
Let's go down to 30. And tap. Okay, good. All right, we're gonna go back to the walking again, and then we're gonna try the brisker pace. Okay.
First pace out. Okay.
There you go. I think it was too high before, and it made her panic. There you go. Good. Want to try one more like that? You got it. Yeah, keep your movement. You got it. Good job. Good. Good. Go ahead and put her in the heel. Good. And then forward. Tap. Yep. There she goes. Good. What we're going to try here is you'll walk for a bit, and then you go into like a light jog, and you're going to apply it as you're moving in the jog, okay?
Apply the
down.
Down, okay.
Yeah. Okay. And what's your number now?
34.
Okay.
Just because she wasn't picking
Yeah,
up
no,
right there.
yeah. That's all I was saying, it's been kind of inconsistent. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to try it again, but then you're going to pivot in front of her, okay?
Down.
There you go. Good. And now you can move normally, right? Good. Good. Let's just try a couple more. Now pivot. There you go.
In front of her.
Because what's happening is, since you're moving faster, she's struggling putting the brakes on. We're going to try one more with you jogging and pivoting, and then we'll try it without you pivoting. Much better.
No pivot now?
No pivot now, correct. There she goes. Almost.
Over down.
Alright. We're going to do 2 more with the pivot, okay? You're going to get your cardio in today.
It's on 81. Like,
Give a tap.
What?
Give a tap. Well, she felt that one. Go ahead and adjust your level, because you adjusted her collar, right? So go ahead and adjust your level down, and then tap. Where you at now?
36.
Let's go 45. Tap. 55. Tap. 65. That's weird. Good. There it is.
54.
Let's go 45. Tap. That's better.
Seems calmer about it.
Sure, yeah. Let's try 2 more with the pivot, okay?
Okay.
There you go, good. Oh, there you go, much better. Now we'll try it without the pivot.
She was thinking about that one.
Yeah. There it is. Good girl. We'll try 1 more. Tap.
Down.
Now try a pivot. There you go. Good. Then back. So if you see her struggling right there, just kick it with the pivot. If you can't get it down with the number. Okay?
Yeah.
So, I worked you through all the steps.
Yeah.
Okay, so we push really quickly. She's got the skill. Initially, she just wasn't expecting it because she hadn't done it yet. Right? So now she's getting familiar, like, oh, like mom also does emergency down. And I didn't send you the emergency down video.
I've seen it.
Oh, it is up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. I didn't know if she had gotten it up or not. That was with Enrique, right? Where he's in the kennel room?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you can add this to your long leash repertoire when you practice with her.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can build the reliability with the randomness during the walk, right? Just 20 minutes in, down. But you're gonna need to pivot at the beginning.
That's obviously not to be in reality. Like, I can't always be in front of her to like make her emergency down.
No, yeah, this is just to help her.
How long do you think I should like change to
straightforward?
Yeah.
I would give it, if you practice this every day, 3 to 5 minutes, not too long, 3 to 5 minutes, and you do it during the walks, I would say after a week, try the down on the walks with just moving straight.
Yeah.
Okay? And then if you see she's got it there, then you can just apply it at that point. Okay? The reason why we're doing the turnarounds now is to help us put the brakes on. So until you started running, everything was going really well. Like she was getting it down and cool, very smooth.
Yeah.
But that's why we do walking, and when we do it, like when we teach it, it's like really slow. Like we're walking really slow down.
Right.
Do it. Right now, we were able to skip all that and go at a fairly like normal pace, and then down her. Once I got her through the resistance stuff. So now to get her to like down whenever. Do you play with her at all?
Yeah.
Like tug or ball or anything like that?
She doesn't really care so much.
Okay.
But like she'll like go after the ball sometimes.
Okay. Anything else that she likes to play with? Other
The
than
red
that?
light.
Red light. Oh,
laser. But
gotcha.
that makes her crazy.
Sure.
Do you see that?
Yes. But that actually works well for you.
Yeah, do you have any tips of how I can utilize it better? It's a great tool for her to like get energy out, but I feel like it's a never-ending like she's searching for the. After I do it, I feel like she's like so hyped up.
Sure. Okay, so then you need to learn how to turn her down, turn her off. Okay, but you can utilize that though, because it puts her in drive. And when you put a dog in drive, trying to do obedience while they're in that mode is difficult because they're so into the situation.
Right.
So it's good because that's what you like to be.
And it's one thing. It's the most thing that she's into. I would say like a play, unless there's another dog.
Gotcha.
Like that's what she likes.
Gotcha. So how about we do this? Let's plan a session where you bring the red light, and I'll show you how to utilize it in person as opposed to trying. It's gonna probably not go so well if she gets that crazy for it, but it's good to give you something to work on.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would do for now is when you do your practice with the long leash stuff and everything, start doing the downs.
Yeah.
At least 2 to 3 minutes a day. Just keep it fresh. I would make sure to apply the obedience, apply it in different areas like the down. Like if you notice, like, oh yeah, I tried to down her like at the lakefront on the beach sand or whatever. Like she wasn't doing it, and that's like a new terrain that she's not comfortable with. Until you build a very solid down is down no matter what the texture is.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for the next one, I can show you how to use your red light to kind of help prove things.
Yeah.
And it's great because now, like if I have something that the dog absolutely loves, whether it's ball, tug, or laser, because it allows you to do play and training at the same time.
Right.
So you get your distraction and your reward all in one thing, especially because then they don't get tired of it. Okay.
You would never get tired of it.
Good. Yeah. That gives us something to work with.
Do you have any other clients that like the red light that you usually talk about there?
No, I mean not recently, but I've had clients whose dogs did like the red light, but it's not like it doesn't come up very frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people do it in the past.
Sure. No, but I've seen it with dogs, But yeah, no, I mean it's because for you because you're doing e-collar, you can use the red light for this stuff. If you weren't doing e-collar, like if you're only doing food or something, or maybe even just prong, it would be like nothing's gonna override the red light.
Totally. Yeah.
But the collar can.
So I mean, like when I take her to the dog park, I mean when I lived in Evanston, do you know the Evanston Park, the dog park up there?
No.
Sam's Club.
Okay. Is it like the off leash?
It's fenced in, but it's huge.
Okay.
Compared to Luke.
Okay. I've been to a couple on the suburb. Evanston's north, right?
Yeah.
North,
It's like Mork Grove at Skokie, Evanston. Like
I think I had been there.
It's behind the Sam's Club, and there's like the lake or the channel.
Is there like trees and stuff by it?
Yeah.
Okay, then I have been there once.
So we used to do it all the time, and like honestly, in the winter with the snow and the red light, she loved that. She could see it at nighttime so easily, and I just brought her all around. But yeah, turning her off from it is like a whole nother.
Sure. Yeah. So then we can cover that, and that will help you with the dog park because it's the same thing. It's just now you're using the red light.
Yeah.
So okay.
Okay.
So you have your homework for the week.
Yeah.
And then I'll talk to Maria. So I think this is your 4th session, but I don't do it by sessions. I do it by hours.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty sure you have 5 hours of follow-up. I'll double check. Okay. But we'll have one more session for sure on the red light.
Okay,
We'll get
perfect.
that squared away, and then we can touch upon this again.
Awesome, that sounds good.
All right, good job.
And otherwise, should I bring her should I do any more like daycare and train like regularly, or should I just bring her to daycare or like?
Bring her to daycare, and then because the training is because she has all the training already. It's a part of the day.
Yeah.
So dogs that we've trained or dogs that have some training, like we reinforce all that stuff.
Right.
So like if you told Corey to let the other handlers know, like when you just continue working with emergency down, whenever they take Pepper out, somebody randomly throwing her down as they're commuting her from like outside to inside or on the floor. Okay. Now we got treadmills. Oh yeah, she came there in a treadmill.
Awesome.
So you don't have to do more daycare and train.
Perfect.
I would just do regular daycare.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how the next class goes, and then it's just practice.
Okay.
And the winter's coming too, and typically people they get a little back to winter. So if you need a tune-up or a refresher, you can always just come in the springtime, and then this way you can continue practicing as opposed to like learning stuff and then, oh my god, it's winter now.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Oh, we'll be practicing, Pepper. She doesn't like getting cold, but you can't lose it. You can't lose it, Pepper.
Nope, don't. Okay. The good thing is they won't forget it, but it does get a little